Meet Tara. Tara is smart and quite funny too. She's quick with a comeback and can parallel park on the first try, which, honestly, should qualify her for some kind of medal. But Tara has OCD. Not the cute social media version, and not the I like my towels folded a certain way version, the real version. The kind that turns a normal morning into a game of tag with kitchen appliances. Because Tara can't just leave the apartment like a regular person. No, she has to check things, then check the checking, then verify the verification. Stove off? Good. Touch the knob. Say off out loud. Look at it again. Take a photo. Walk to the door. Pause. Look at the photo and think, maybe this is an old picture. Back to the stove. Does she know it's off? Yes. Does that help? Not even a little. That's one of the weird things about OCD. It doesn't just sit down and have a fair debate. It barges into your mind like a hall monitor in a sweater vest, yelling, "Yeah, but what if? What if the stove is secretly on? What if the door isn't locked? What if the perfectly spaced shoes facing 2 degrees in the wrong direction somehow triggers disaster? What if this tiny thing matters way more than it should?" And Tara knows. She knows it sounds ridiculous, and that's part of what makes it so maddening. Have you ever had a song stuck in your head? Now imagine the song is fear, and instead of lyrics, it just keeps asking for reassurance, again and again and again. That's Tara's brain some days. She'll leave the apartment, get halfway to her car, then feel the jolt, that full-body alarm. Did I lock the door? She asks herself. She did, probably. But probably isn't good enough. OCD wants total certainty, the kind humans do not get to have. And to continue the reoccurring theme, Tara goes back. She checks the lock once, then once more to make sure that the first check wasn't a hoax. Then she leaves while doing a weird little hand motion that her brain has now decided is part of the process. That's another sneaky trick that OCD pulls. Not only does it demand rituals, but it also expands them. At first it's, put the phone on the table. Then it's, now slide it near the coffee cup. Then it's, slide it just right to the edge while thinking the correct thought, or else it doesn't count. And now, Tara is mentally drained. Her soul is tired, because when her brain treats every ordinary moment like a high-stakes operation, it burns a lot of energy. But doing the ritual works, right? It does. For about 4 seconds. That's why OCD is sticky. You step into a room, left foot first, and the panic drops. You avoid certain floor tiles, and the tension eases. You triple wash your hands for good measure, and your brain says, "Ah, thank you." So your brain learns the wrong lesson. It learns, good, we live to fight another day to play tug-of-war with a ghost. So, what do? There are many different clinical options for treating OCD, but I'm going to share with you the mind trick that I used to defeat it. Because a long time ago, I struggled with OCD myself. My quirky, strange rituals started in my early 20s. I'm not really sure how or why. It just kind of came out of nowhere. For one example, I developed this weird thing with the top drawer of the dresser in my bedroom. I felt that if I didn't leave it open just a tiny bit, then something bad would happen. Another example, the digital alarm clock with the bright red display that sat on the nightstand had to be on an odd number before I closed my eyes to go to sleep. It made no sense. I knew that. Didn't matter. So I decided to turn OCD on itself. I stopped telling myself, if I don't do this or that, something bad is going to happen. Instead, I started telling myself that something bad would happen if I actually gave in to OCD behavior. Because every time I obeyed it, I fed it. I made it bigger. I was just training my brain to stay afraid. It wasn't some universal hack, but it broke the spell enough to fight back. It helped me stop treating the ritual like safety and start seeing it as the trap. How about that rhyme? As silly as it sounds, it actually worked. Anytime I felt the urge, I would just repeat this to myself. And before long, the urges faded away. I finally realized that sometimes bad things just happen. Unfortunately, it's a part of life. And some silly little toe tap while holding your breath isn't going to change the outcomes of reality. But what it can change is your day, your peace, your energy, your freedom. And once I saw that, it got harder to take OCD seriously. Not because it vanished overnight, but because I could finally see how absurd the whole arrangement was. My brain was out here acting like the fate of the universe hinged on whether a dresser drawer was open a quarter of an inch. And the more I stopped acknowledging it, the more I began to see it for the illusion it truly was. People experience OCD in different ways. I'm not here to give advice, just to share my story. If you're going through it, just know you're not the only one, and that you can overcome it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It would really help the channel. I hope to see you soon.